Oh my. Okay, Kyusha is here, Sylvia as well. Great. Well, welcome everyone to this session. Yes, our monthly Mentanet session. Yes, and I will talk a little bit about the running order, yes, for our meeting today. At the very beginning of our session, Richard Smith will be providing an overview reminder of what Mentanet is about and its yearly cycle of activities. Then Anna will be making an introduction and talking about the questionnaire she designed. Yes, and she will also present a conclusion at the end of the meeting. She will also be talking about questions 6, 11, and 12 of the questionnaire. After that, Chang will be talking about questions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 8 of the questionnaire, and I will be talking about questions 7A, 7B, 9, and 10. Yes? So, right, now it's time to start. Richard, over to you.
Yeah, hi everyone. I just thought I would introduce this cycle really of meetings because we haven't met for a while, just to refresh our memories or to recap what is Mentornet and what has Mentornet become. I had a little bit of a problem with internet just now, so I just want to find see if I can find. Yeah, I think I can find my slides here. Um, just maybe for new people who are joining us, like Analia, you're very welcome today. But anybody watching, um, just to think about what is Mentornet and then situate our monthly meetings within the overall concept of Mentornet. I won't spend more than 10 minutes. So this is the website, Mentornet. And if you go to the website, which I don't know if everybody does who is a member, go there, you can really see all of the different activities that we are engaged in. Mentornet.net. And we thank Omid, who's, I think, with us today for making this lovely website. Well, on the website, it says we are an international network or community of practice, of mentors of teacher research in the field of English language teaching for speakers of other languages. Actually, some of us are reaching out to teachers of other subjects as well, but our main focus has been English language teaching. What is teacher research? Just a brief overview. Teacher research by teachers for themselves, for their professional development. We have been inspired by exploratory action research, but we don't exclude other kinds of teacher research, exploratory practice, etc. In 2020, this handbook came out, published by the British Council. It's based on my experience mentoring mentors in Nepal and India in particular. And because of that, really, and inside that, you can have a definition of one definition of mentoring. So MentorNet, mentoring, teacher research, just to start with some definitions. And because of the handbook, I approached Seden, who's here, to arrange some monthly meetings. To arrange a workshop in 2020, actually, which is not here. Actually, it's that should be here. 2020, we had some workshops to publicize the handbook, to go through the handbook with people, but then, of course, we had the pandemic. But we had promised to people in the workshops, which we called Evo at that time, that we would follow up with some monthly meetings. And in 2021, we did manage to start to have monthly meetings. And at that time, it was to prepare for a conference that we also decided to run, which was with ResearchSig, but we would have it online. And we had a lot of thinking about what kind of conference can we have. and we managed to organize it for 2021 November. Then we revived the monthly meetings to prepare for the another Teacher Research Online conference in 2023, March 2023. And since then, we've had these regular meetings, monthly meetings. But the original idea was to very much to prepare or link forward to a conference where mentors would bring their teachers. Of course, from the very beginning with SEDEN, we had the workshops, we had our discussion group, and we've built the discussion group. So to become a member of MentorNet, you don't have to pay anything. You just join our discussion group. Well, the conference I mentioned, we had it in March 2021, sorry, November 2021, but we're trying to have it in March every year now. So we had it in March 23, March 24, March 25, and we hope it will be an annual event. So I'm just going to talk about activities that might go round the year as we have started to think about it. In other words, MentorNet has grown to something bigger than it started. As it started, it wasn't called MentorNet, it was just called monthly meetings. But we decided that we call ourselves something because we're planning lots of different things. And we have a steering group now. And here are the people who are who are active in the steering group, who are organizing all of these events around the year now. Still a core target for each year is a March conference. We hope that mentors who are members of MentorNet will bring teachers to this conference. And we've started to have a workshop series for mentors to orient new mentors every year in April to May. And this could be we could think of this as the beginning of a cycle where we bring in new mentors to MentorNet, and they hopefully might think about mentoring teachers to present at the conference the following year in March. That's the poster for this one, where Ravi, Seden, Anna, Omid, and Mariana were leading this. But that's something we have done quite often. Before it was called Evo. Now we are doing it within MentorNet. Following on from that, Research Dig organizes an event where mentors reflect on their experience of actually following on from the conference, actually, where they reflect on their experiences. We've had these several years, and we hope maybe that will happen every year in July still. Right now, Mariana and Ruben are leading the workshop series for teachers to become teacher researchers, and that has become a MentorNet activity as well. So you see why we need a big steering group to organize all of these different things. Research SIG is a very important partner for us with those two workshop series and the conference. We also, and I don't really have time to talk about all the publications that Ellie has been leading, opportunities for writing about teacher research. Also on our website, Susan has been leading that. You can write about your experiences as a mentor. Don't really have time to talk about that very much, but that has become a very important part of what we do. We've of course brought out a book of experiences from one of those events. So we have all of these different activities now. And there are possibilities of other activities, question mark. Until now, we've had benefited from some financial support from the UK grant that I got from UK ESRC, but we won't have that forever. And we have become self-sustaining as a group. So MentorNet has all these different activities, and I just gave you a little bit of history. I hope that wasn't more than 10 minutes. Thank you.
Well done. Thanks, Richard. No, that was 7 minutes.
Oh.
You have 3 more minutes if you like.
No, it's okay.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Okay. Well, thank you. So the next part of today's meeting is we're going to present the data from the questionnaire, and Mariana will be sharing the screen. So could you share the screen, Mariana?
Yes, I will.
Right. Okay, so this was a questionnaire which we started working on in May and June and sent out June, July. I can't remember when we closed it, perhaps the beginning of August. The main aim of the questionnaire was just to get feedback on the monthly meetings. And then we had a couple of open questions at the end about Mentinet, just to see if any points came up, which would be the basis for a discussion on Mentinet and its role. So first of all, the first slide, Mariana. We had 27 respondents, which personally I was very pleased about. I wasn't expecting quite so many. Thank you to all of you who responded. I have a feeling that probably most of the people here today responded to the questionnaire, so thank you. And we also wanted to see what kind of a buy-in there was from people who attended meetings or who belonged to Mentinet. So the way the presentation is organized is that basically we have gone through the questions, we'll then explain how we interpreted the responses, and on the basis of those responses, we'll make some suggestions about changes that we can possibly make to the meetings and the way they're organized. If anything is unclear, please just raise your hand and ask while we're presenting it. So the idea is that we'll take about 30 minutes to present everything, and at the end, we'd like to have your reactions, your questions, your comments, further suggestions. So I'm going to pass over now to, who am I passing over to, Chang or Mariana?
Chang,
It's a Chang.
over to you. Thank you so
Sorry.
much.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Mariana. So I should also learn to be concise. Learn from Richard that be concise. Okay. So as you can see on this slide, we can see the three questions. The results. Got the screenshot from the questionnaire, and we summarize that into the following points. The first question. It's okay. It's okay, Anna. Thank you. The first question is relevant to the attendance. You can see half attend regularly. So sorry. Can you see the slides? Can we see all slides clearly? Yeah. So the attendance is mixed. So many are committed, but some constrained by the external factors. So many answered when I can, irregular attendance, but some consistently attend. And if they miss the sessions, they still engage. And we can see that among half of them always or usually watch the recording. And you can see that why they miss a session, mainly because of the family commitments or time differences. So the meeting clash, the two main reasons. And from the third questionnaire, we can see that about half usually watch the recording. So this makes us raise awareness of the importance of the recording. Therefore, we will still maintain the recording available to all the people. So next slide, please. Thank you, Mariana. Here on this slide, you can see the result, the three pie chart from the question 5, 4, 5, 8. So we categorize them all together because this relevant to the accessibility and the timing. So in terms of the connectivity, 59, almost 60 respondents report sometimes have connectivity issues. And in terms of the preferred length of the monthly meetings, around 59 participants prefer 60 minutes. So 22% people prefer 90 minutes, so the rest don't mind. And here we want to take the length of the meeting, the frequency of the meeting, regarding also take the rotating time zones into consideration because we're from different countries. And here, still one more point want to emphasize regarding the accessibility is about the interaction, because we can see that some people, they use the laptop while some people use the mobile phone. So this leads us to think the interaction during the engagement during the meeting and also the interface of their screen. So these are our interpretation of these findings based on the questionnaire. And based on these interpretations, leads us to think the actionable points. So then let's move on to the next slide, please. Thank you, Mariana. So based on those 6 questions, what are the actionable points? You can see that we summarize into those following bullet points. The first one, we really need to conceptualize what a good turnout is. So we see, okay, the good turnout, what is a good attendance? So really, we really want to listen to all your thoughts, because each of your thoughts, all your thoughts much appreciated. Maybe we can discuss later after the presentation. And the second point for the actionable point is about the flexible timing. You can see that I cannot skip one. It's about the possible interview questions. I will talk about it after the flexible timing. So maybe we can consider the poll. When announcing the following meeting, we can listen to the people's thoughts. What time would you like to have the meeting? We can also take the varying day and time into consideration. So now let's go back to the possible interview questions, because I really kind of appreciate the opportunity working together with Anna and Mariana. So I really look much forward to continue working on this project. So possibly interviews can be conducted. So one possible interview question can be by increasing options. So can we reduce obligations? How can we do that? Perhaps, so this leads me on to the 4th bullet point. Perhaps we could try a low pressure model. For example, 60 minutes call meeting based on the participants, their thoughts, and then plus the optional 20 minutes after chat. So we could try, first we could try do a pilot. We could advertise 60 minutes and then see its impact. So I think today meeting 60 minutes, okay, I need to hurry up. So then we talk about that. We will continue offer recordings, and plus that, we will also add the AI summary, making full use of AI. Today, maybe we can try that, use the AI summary and make it accessible to those people. Maybe if they don't attend the meeting, then they can look at the AI summary or watch the recording. However, what we really want to do is to increase the participation and reduce the workload of the participants. So that's our main mission. So increase the participation. And then the following 2 points relevant to the connectivity, we can do a quick check report of the connectivity issue. And then another one. So I hope Sarah is here, but she's not here, but Sarah can listen to the recording. Here, Sarah could consider posting to a single hub. For example, they mentioned at the website. So make the kind of mention at monthly meeting have a kind of icon on the website so that this can allow for the inviting the one sentence reflections to feed into the next agenda. So this is an invitation, but maybe people not do, but we try to offer kind of people their opportunities. So sorry, I should learn. I'm a bit redundant. I should learn from Richard, be more concise. So thank you. So this then for the next slide is the findings from question 6. Anna, please.
Okay, thank you very much, Chang. We'll come back at the very end and summarize all those possible actionable points. So question 6 was why people enjoyed meetings, and I don't think there are really any surprises in the answers. So as you would expect, it's meeting peers and then sharing ideas, sharing experiences, good ones as well as negative ones, being able to discuss things freely, because people discuss these things in breakout rooms. 3 participants stated that they attended specifically because a topic interested them. Others because of the presentations, and others enjoyed external speakers. So the conclusion is that what we're doing is actually working quite well. So that the current mix of whole group and then breakout rooms is working well. And then what we need to try and do is to maintain that balance of external. I think we've had 3 external speakers this year, and the rest have been internal, to try and vary the topics and to always give people an opportunity to share their experiences, and also give people an opportunity to share the experience of what's happening with their mentoring at that time, so they can share it with the others. So on the whole, the feedback there was positive. So over to you, Mariana.
Thank you so much, Anna. Okay. All right. And question 7A was, would you be happy to lead a meeting, a session? Yes. We've got 26 responses, right? And 42.3% were positive, while 57.7% were negative. So as you can see on the screen, yes, the concepts were session leadership and buy-in. And here we wondered, what are the constraints for people not leading a session? Yes, maybe lack of time, lack of buy-in, other responsibilities, other commitments, workload, lack of confidence. Yes. And then question 7B, yes, had to do with the following. If you would be willing to lead a meeting, what topic or topics would you propose? Yes, we got 16 responses. Yes, and we summarized what respondents said, right? With a list of topics, yes, they suggested. These topics are on mentoring. They are not on teaching, right? Sustainability, demystifying exploratory action research, supporting new mentors, regional stories, and then professional growth in the sense of professional development, right? So, what are the actionable points related to questions 7A and 7B, right? The first one, yes, find out who would like to lead a session, yes, and present or co-present. Yes, we could offer linguistic support for colleagues who would like to present or co-present, yes, and offered support from scratch to delivery. That is to say, from the initial idea to delivery if necessary, right? And then new members could lead our monthly sessions. Yes, Anna and myself could offer support, yes, provide mentoring if necessary, create a community of practice around topics suggested, the ones I mentioned earlier, right? And then again, this question, what are the possible constraints for people not to be willing to present? Okay, the idea is to think what leads, yes, to low leadership interest. And then let members know, yes, that the possibility of delivering presentation exists. That possibility exists, okay? So we would like to let them know about it. Yes, and then mentornet role. There was a bit of confusion on maintenance role. Yes, we do have a mission statement. Yes, that is what we do. And what about writing a set of principles? That is to say, how we do things, principles. Yes? All right, then we will talk about it, we will discuss this idea, and we want to listen to your comments and suggestions on this, right? Okay. Then let's move on to question 9. Yes, as a mentor, are you happy with the support, expertise, and help MentorNet provides? We got 27 responses and we selected 5 quotes, right? Which we would like you to read and enjoy. Right? All right, it was very, very difficult for us, yes, for the 3 of us to select these 5 quotes because they were all very interesting, right? So the concepts, okay, related to question 9, strong sense of community, all right, which comes through sharing, yes, experiences, successes, all right, and also challenges, yes. Some participants, some respondents gave suggestions such as more practical tools, resources, opportunities to grow, yes, by sharing more information on events, opportunities to make presentations, professional developments as mentors, reminders of topics, of monthly meetings, and then requests for support on specific issues and more resources on mentoring. Actionable points, okay, maybe we could organize peer mentoring support, then raise participants' awareness of our website, yes, publication opportunities, opportunities to grow through conferences, offer practical and language support for members who request it, and maybe, okay, this pair first-time speakers with a mentor. Let's see then what you think about this, right? And so then we have question 9, the concepts, actionable points, and finally question 10, right? How could MentorNet encourage its members to participate more in general? Yes, again, we got 25 responses and we selected, yes, the 3 of us selected 5 very interesting quotes, which I would like you to read in silence and enjoy, right? Some of the most important ideas are sharing is caring, Yes, I am the great example how Mentanet brought transformation, right? Yes. All right. It supports its members by providing opportunities for learning and sharing. Yes. Inviting members to participate as organizers for future events sponsored by Mentanet would spark more involvement by them. Yes. All of them are positive. Right? So the concepts have to do with assigning rules, building small communities, right? Highlighting members' voices, again, reminders, different content, and interactive experiences. And the actionable points for these questions. Yes, starting a WhatsApp group, all right, where mentors could post problems they are having and in that way, and therefore get feedback, right? Then, but having a clear focus, right? Then in relation to tasks and rules, what about having a list of different areas people could get involved in? Yes, so more and more participants are active, right? We are doing it right now. You know, Susan in charge of blog posts, Ellie and her team in charge of the publishing group, Anna and myself. Now Cheng is helping us with the organization of the sessions, right? Vanita and her team in charge of online conferences. But the question is maybe an interview question. Yes, what are the possible areas? Any other possible areas? Okay, so help us to think about them. Yes, and then special session for mentors and mentees. What about that? Right? Okay, so that's all about questions 7A, B, yes, questions 9 and 10. And now over to you, Anna. Question.
Okay, thanks, Mariana. I'm aware that we're running out of time, so I'm going to go through these quite quickly. The answers to question 11 in many ways repeated some of what we heard in question 10, which is a fault of the questionnaire design, so I take responsibility for that. So some of these things have come up already, networking, what's support for new mentors. One thing is more visibility for the group, which is something that perhaps we can discuss. Mini conferences by region, and then the need to expand the group of the circle, which is also something that perhaps we can discuss. So on the next slide, we have some possible ideas for things that we can do. Mariana, can you go to the next slide? Thank you.
Yes.
Buddy mentor system, which we've mentioned. Now, do we expand the group or do we make it a closed group? Do we maintain it as a closed group? And if it is a closed group, is it a community of practice? These are the things I think we need to ask ourselves. Does the Mentornet page have enough information on it about the monthly meetings? That's something we could consider. And do we need to, if we're going to open up the group, do we use other media channels? The creation of a WhatsApp group has already been mentioned. Roles, new roles and responsibilities as well. Organizing regional meetups. I'm not sure what people think about that. And then a possible need for principles on how Mentornet works. So closed group, open group, what media channels do we use, etc. Okay, next slide. I really am going through them. I talk quickly, but I'm going through them quickly. So these suggestions as well have come up before. One thing that hasn't come up before is statistics on attendance. This is something that's come up. So who attends, and of the people who attend, how many of them are part of the steering group anyway? And then perhaps to build shared ownership, we will share the attendance trend and the views from contributors, who's contributed, who they are, whether they've been invited, whether they're a member. Okay, so next one. And this was the very last question, which was any other comments. So I'm going to read all these words because the answers here were full of praise. These are all the words that people used, and we're really touched that people have said these things. So yeah, it's unique, it's faithful and creative, you know, loved it, grateful to be part of the team, you infect others. People said some really positive things. So I think it's safe to say that there's a high level of gratitude among people who attend. Remember that part of the purpose of this was to find out how we can get more people to attend. But it shows overall satisfaction and encouragement for us to share, to continue with the current efforts. Yeah. But there's always room for improvement, which is what we're hoping to do. And the facilitation, it seemed, and the flow of the sessions seem to go well. Okay, so the final conclusion, which is a kind of it's a summary of everything that's come up. It's not everything, but on the whole, we're offering a good mix of sessions, it would seem. So sharing sessions, guest speakers, members presenting, etc. So these we think are the main points that we need to consider. So timing and length of meetings, 60 minutes, 75, 90 it seems is the least popular. Technical frictions to do with connectivity issues, computer, phone. Do we need to consider these things when we organize the meetings? How do we respond to problems that people have? And then the day and the time. Saturdays, Sundays, we need to find a time that suits everyone. The frequency is once a month. It seems that once a month is fine for most people. We need to, I think, peer support or mentoring would be a very positive thing, but that's something that people want to be able to interact with one another outside of the meetings. They'd like a platform for that. So peer mentoring is one way, and a WhatsApp group would be another way of doing it. Regional meetups, I think that would be possibly Asia and South America. I don't think there are enough members in Europe for that, but anyway, to offer clear sort of structured support for people who would like to lead a session and haven't led one yet because of lack of either linguistic confidence or confidence in general. Making the agenda for the meeting clear, which we tried to do for the meeting today, and AI is on, so I will add the transcripts when I upload the recording of the meeting. We'll try out new types of sessions. There have been some suggestions in amongst all the data we have, trying to always make the content relevant for the participants. And then we need to consider about advertising meetings and in this closed open group and how we can attract new members and sustain the group. And then possibly discussion of principles for Mentornet. So how does Mentornet, not what does Mentornet do, but how does Mentornet work? And I think that's most of it. I think that's, so thank you very much, everybody, for being here, for contributing, for answering the questionnaire, for listening, for watching the video. And now we'd like to open it up to comments or questions about the questionnaire, about the content, and any reaction to any of the suggestions that we've made. So I leave it open. We leave it open to you to.
I would like to say that I enjoyed working with Anna and Chang all this time while interpreting, while thinking, while reflecting together. This is a wonderful project. I have enjoyed a lot working with both of them, and I would like to continue dealing with this because there are lots of ideas. And as Anna said, there's always time and possibilities, yes, for improvement. Thank you so much.
Can I ask a question?
Yes. Just the one.
Okay.
Just the one.
This questionnaire was sent to workshop participants, right? No,
this was for Mentornet members.
Oh, everyone, right?
All the Mentornet members, yes.
Because we got a lot of comments about more publication opportunities, more interaction opportunities, and we do have all of that. We
I
have
know.
we have a publishing team.
I know. I know, I know. Some people, it's clear that not everyone is quite sure what Mentinet does. But it's 2 or 3 people. And some people also, we didn't include the comments, some people talked about teaching rather than mentoring. But it was 1 or 2 people that did that. But our reaction was the same as yours.
Okay, good. I'm not alone. Thank you.
No, you're not.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Yeah. So is this a closed group or an open group? So what is, I mean, our take on that? Yeah. They need to register that, I know, but can
Yeah.
any mentor register or do they have to have some experience?
Yeah. No, the system at the moment is that you register to be a member of Mentinet and you get all the emails. But the people who attend the meetings are only the people who receive the emails. So it's not as if we advertise our meetings and anyone who wants to come. You have to be a member of Mentinet to come. That's what I mean by a closed group. Whereas some people seem to be saying we need to advertise, that's some of the respondents, we need to advertise, I don't know, on Facebook, to get more people to come. That's been the system up till now. But I think there are, Richard, there are 400 people signed up to Mentinet.
I can check.
Yeah, I think it's about 400.
It's around 300. Bit less than
300. Okay, so we got almost 10% response.
Yeah.
My comment as well about signing up is that you don't have to make your email public. And I think we should encourage people to make their emails public, because I try to contact individuals in order to try out the questionnaire and their email just isn't there. There are very few emails made public. So that's another thing we can consider as well. Hi, Sedan.
Hi, thank you so much for just summarizing the results and all these efforts to make it into a presentation and sharing with us. I was thinking, like, what happens if we open these monthly meetings to others? I thought like it would be an opportunity to introduce how Mentornet works. Maybe by joining us in a monthly meeting, I mean, which most of us find very useful, and community building activities. Like, I mean, we keep seeing, supporting one another, keep our bonds stronger and together. My suggestion would be, I mean, advertising these monthly meetings on Facebook, invite others. Maybe we can have more members in this way. Yes, that was for me. I was also thinking, like, most of us are working at universities, have I mean, specific subject expertise. I think each of us can share our expertise during these monthly meetings, because they are all English language teaching related. I mean, we can somehow relate our expertise fields to teaching English in service programs or pre-service programs. That was another thing that came to my mind. And one last thing was that, you know, all of us as mentors have our concerns, things that puzzle us or our successes. Some sessions can be organized for all of us to come together and share whatever happened in that month, or in 2 months or 3 months. Maybe a session can be devoted for a come together to exchange what we have. Like, we are all someone to lean on within this community, so we can ask for help or offer some help to others in this community, in this lovely, beautiful community. Thank you.
Yes, that came up
And
as part of the answers, having sessions where we just share where we are now. So thank you, Sudin.
Welcome. Thank you.
Hi everyone.
hello, hello. Love
I
to see
I just
you.
want to start by saying I've missed you all so much. I'm really happy to be back. And thank you so much for that wonderful summary of what you've done so far. And it's very, very satisfying to listen to the participants and hear their point of view about MentorNet. So you've given us a great, great report. And I want to build on Ravi and Sidon's ideas. And perhaps because some participants mentioned WhatsApp, and I'm thinking, how about something like, instead of a WhatsApp group, a WhatsApp community, and then you could divide that into subgroups where the first one they see when they join the community is, would you like to join us? And that will send them to the website to register. And then if they register, they can go join another sub community, which would be member only, and then one for guests. And the announcement section would be a way for us to send announcements about future meetings, current meetings, maybe reminders. On the same day, there is a MentorNet meeting. So that's one thing I thought about because you mentioned the WhatsApp group.
Thanks, Nahla, and congratulations on your PhD,
Well, thank you very much.
which I think you gained recently. Yes, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Congratulations,
Nahla.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Yes, over to you, Richard.
Yeah, this idea, this issue of opening or keeping as a closed group. My view is quite strong view, actually, that it should be a closed group, because I think that's what has led to it being a community of practice and being a very strong community, which is what the feedback is showing. It's, the British Council had a sort of survey of different groups around the world, different teacher education groups around the world, and they identified their own group, teacher, I can't remember which one it is, but as a good example of a very active group, right? And that's not surprising because it's like I think it's a Facebook group, and they've got professional moderators who keep sending questions and getting people to talk about things. Well, that's something we could do, because moderating a group, for example, the group that we have, groups.io, could be more active if we had active questions that people can respond to, etc. At the moment, it's relatively more like a announcements group. And the other one they identified among all the different groups was this group. They actually joined MentorNet in order to see what it was like because they'd heard about it, I think, through Shirin. And theorizing it as a community of practice. Well, community of practice has a goal. The community of practice has a sort of working towards particular goals, which is what makes it a community rather than a open group. There are lots of these groups, aren't there, online on Facebook, etc. But this MentorNet was defined by them from the outside as something special, where there was, for them anyway, there was a lot of activity in groups.io. So we do have, relatively more activity than other groups that are set up, because they've been trying to set up their own group basically for teacher development, for teacher education, have not really succeeded. So they were trying to see what examples of good practice. I don't like to say best practice because that sounds like we can't improve.
No,
So thank you, Anna.
no, never
Yeah.
best practice. Doesn't exist.
No, exactly. But thanks for, this is great and really timely because we have developed into something as MentorNet. And it's really important that we step back and try to evaluate it. That's why I don't want to really express my own opinions too strongly, because it's really good that people have new initiatives. And that's what has happened actually with MentorNet. But I think if we advertise now, another point is MentorNet is not only these monthly meetings, and you've already said that people participate by watching the video, but people also are participating who don't come to these meetings in different ways. They're they're presenting at the conference. They are writing in that activity that Ellie has been leading, that others are now leading. So there are other areas of MentorNet, and yeah, I mean, I think a concern underlying what you've been saying, your concern is that these meetings are not attracting enough people. But well, these are always, the videos are always available for people, and this is one way of participating in MentorNet. That's one thing. And even if more people came, because it was widely advertised, I don't think they would necessarily we wouldn't necessarily have the same sense of a community, because we wouldn't have that same focus on not only having experienced teacher research or knowing what teacher research is. Maybe actually it's a foundation that we all have. So the assumption is we all have a foundation of knowing already what teacher research is, what practitioner research is. I think you get quite a lot of people coming out of interest, but not really engaging. We're bringing people in through the yearly workshops that we do, where not only do people find out about what teacher research is, or know what teacher research is, but they are learning to be a mentor. So it's a very specific community. And if they're really interested in being a mentor of teacher research, they will find out about MentorNet. Those 300 people that we have, they have gone as far as expressing an interest by joining. And well, I think it's more important that we see, like you're doing, is find out from them what they would like, what is it that they are gaining. And I really encourage you to carry on with your interviews, and we can collaborate on that. So I don't know if I'm making myself very clear.
You know, you are, yeah.
I think opening up, advertising the meetings would bring in more people for sure, but there would be a lot of people coming without really knowing why. And I think what we need to do is advertise MentorNet as a general thing. It's free, if people are interested in mentoring, maybe we need to find better ways. If we want to expand, I don't know if we do necessarily want to expand. We've got 300 people, but we don't, as you know, we don't reach those 300 people. There are people who are not maybe engaged, but who have expressed an interest in mentoring teacher research, or maybe they've joined for other reasons that were other reasons. But
I think in my point of view would be that if we expand the group, I'm not saying making it an open group, but if we expand the group, that also guarantees sustainability. Because, there are 19 of us here today, and I don't see any harm with there being 25 or 28. I think that could still feel like a community of practice. And having new people join every 1 or 2 years who are committed to it guarantees sustainability in the future.
so we definitely want to encourage new people to come in. I think the way in is through the workshop series that we advertise in April to May, where we're publicizing that in terms of people being oriented towards mentoring teacher research, and then encouraging, as we have done, encouraging them to come along to these meetings, or get engaged in other ways, because there are lots of people who are not here today, but who are engaged with MentorNet.
I didn't give apologies, but I received apologies from Susan, from Sydney, and from Ellie that they couldn't attend today for different reasons.
And we can also
Talking
add,
of people who are committed.
we can also
reminded
add
me.
ideas, add activities, as I said, my final slide. So some of the activities that you've got suggestions for, we can try those out, and that could be new people trying those out. Yeah, that's what we can do. I mean, definitely we need to sustain it, but it's not in danger of, I don't think it's in danger of dying at the moment. It's on an upward path, and it meant in terms of number of activities it's doing.
Well, in view of the fact that we said the meeting would last 60 minutes, if there are any further comments.
I have a suggestion, just one. We have many reviewers who have, looked at our stories of mentoring teacher research book, but we don't know who they are. So, some of them at least. So can we, ask them to come and share their reviews? Is it possible? Can that be a presentation?
Anything can be a presentation, of course.
Yeah.
Yes. All
Yeah.
ideas are welcome. So all the people who reviewed the book to come to a meeting to discuss. Yes, because all the reviews have been quite different. I find it interesting because I reviewed it, Omid reviewed it.
Yeah.
I've read 4 or 5 reviews, and they all take
Yeah.
different perspectives. Yeah.
And one has been published in ELTED, Warwick University's journal, ELTED, Reno's review.
Yes, there have been several. Yes, I don't know who they all are, but yeah.
Another suggestion would be to open up some of these meetings to the wider public, to encourage them to understand what MentorNet is about, and then to say, look, this was a public, like for example, that one that Ravi suggested, and to say this is MentorNet, to join our our monthly meetings, and here are the other things that we are doing as MentorNet. If you're interested, then come along and join.
Oh yes. By the way, I just want to say I share the same thoughts and insights with Ravi and Richard, but you speak that out. So thank you for that. So I also think, okay, I saw the lots of book reviews. I'm very curious for each reviewer. Maybe they see our book from different perspectives, want to know their critical insights and comments. So this can help us to disseminate the book further. And another point, Richard's raised a really good point. I think this format is very similar to iTEFL. Some of the iTEFL, their kind of events, some are open to members, some are open to all the people. So it's a good trial as well. So thank you for the wonderful advice. Yeah.
So, in view of our 60-minute limit today on the, well, 60-minute not limit, but any more final comments? Go on, Sudan.
Yeah.
I was wondering, have we completed writing the mission statement? Are we an official network, Richard?
What do you mean by official network?
For example, can we collaborate with a university for professional development or mentoring issues like?
Well, that would be another activity, wouldn't it? So, and if it comes to that, then maybe in that particular country, an association like a network like MentorNet needs some official kind of status, in which case it might become a problem. But I think the activity or the desire to do the activity comes first, we are just simply a network, and we are not legally established anywhere. If there is a necessity for that, for some reason, we can investigate that. That's what I'd suggest. And for the steering group to consider, I think.
I think we need to consider that because I think it's something we can do as a group. Like,
You're suggesting that we become involved in some activities with universities, for example.
well, our rector, for example, was talking about collaborating internationally with other universities or organizations. I thought about our MentorNet, like, can we collaborate? Like, all the world is talking about sustainability, you know, international collaborations, and we have this potential. I think when we work together, we work well. I mean, if we are asked to collaborate with a university, we can enjoy sharing our knowledge. Sharing is caring. Well, if it can be another kind of work. I mean, it's just an idea. Why not? I mean, at the end of the day, it's about professional development, and universities can enjoy collaborating with us for continuous professional development.
Collaborate with our university, Sarah. We're looking for the same opportunities.
Can I just say one thing? Yes. I'm sorry I missed the last meeting. I planned to attend, but I couldn't because of circumstances beyond my control. I really struggled. But I just want to key up from what Seden is saying, which to me makes a lot of sense. I've been struggling in my group to see if the group can be self-reliant. I mean, in the sense that everything doesn't circulate around me. And throughout, I've been working to achieve that goal. Now, the other thing that I noticed that was a huge problem was that the way teachers have developed throughout has been they've developed around a focal point, which to me doesn't really democratize the efforts we're making in the group. And I've tried out something with pre-service teachers, which I'm reflecting on now. Hopefully, Richard, with your support, I can get it published with whoever is and whoever is happy to support me in that reflection. I tried something in August with pre-service teachers. It's a project that I started last year. I was trying to see how I can institutionalize teacher research without confronting structures, which was born out of this desire to create a group that can take initiative without necessarily revolving around my ideas. And I'm looking at the feedback I got from the pre-service teachers who tried teacher research. And I feel like some kind of broader support is necessary because it's a lot of energy. Sometimes some of the things that we do, we hide the stories behind the successes. The story sometimes can be frightening. So I was wondering whether this collaboration can be one way through which I could further develop that. Maybe through MentorNet or through other institutions like Seden is mentioning, but I seem to think that MentorNet should really be my destination, my point of focus as far as this support is concerned. So with this, I feel that engagement in other structures, like Seden is saying, it all turns around professional development and the way we disseminate teacher research practices. That could bring back something. If we get involved in that kind of collaboration, we can import something from that collaboration into MentorNet, which can kind of energize MentorNet energized, what do I mean? By kind of giving us the things, a lot of things that we can start developing in teacher research. Let's say, for example, what did we learn from that collaboration? It could be a subject of discussion, which maybe A or B could take over. So this has been my reflection while we've been talking, Richard. Thank you.
Thanks, Eric. So I think like we said, then if you have a specific project, which somehow requires support or would benefit from support from MentorNet as a group, put it down on put your ideas down and present them to. I mean, I gave a list of the steering group members, and maybe we should publicize that on the website, and you could contact us, and that could be considered. We can talk about new ideas, and I think today we've had a lot of new ideas, which is great. But also, I would suggest we've heard what are the very positive things about MentorNet for its participants, and let's not forget that, because if we try to mend something that is not broken, it can actually damage it. So that's one warning, perhaps. Let's definitely encourage all the new initiatives, and continue to evaluate as you've done with today, and continue to do that. But let's be very clear about what we want to achieve when we do things, and put your ideas down and present your ideas, and we can develop them, I'm sure. So I'd just like to say thanks very much to Anna and Chang and Mariana for doing this today.
Okay, so we'll end the meeting there. Thanks very much, everyone, for coming, and we'll be advertising the next meeting very soon.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.